Hey guys!
Welcome back to Plots with a Twist,
where we discuss books
amongst other things. And guess what? It's our
anniversary,
birthday, whatever you call it. Our BookTube-versary, yes. Or it was a few days ago, but we're filming today, so hey!
Yes, congratulations. Wait. Congratulations to us.
Right. Congratulations are in order. Cheers. Toast.
Toast. Since
we made it a year. So yeah, today's video, we're just going to talk about some things we learned over the past year and just discuss our channel overall. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
It's like I want to drink first.
Take a sip.
Right. So we don't really have any format for this, so we just thought we'd just chat with you guys.
Have a little conversation.
Have a little conversation. I tried to find some questions or write down some questions, but couldn't find any, so. All right, so we are sitting strong as of today's date with 47 videos. This will be number 48. We have 593 subscribers as of today.
Thank you so much for watching us talk about books and whatever.
Yes. And so, yes, we're just going to talk about some of the things we learned. So, what do you think our biggest challenge has been thus far?
Our biggest challenge, just with the YouTube part, Plots with the Twist.
Oh yeah, the IG is still a challenge.
Yeah, IG is something that we're still working on. But with YouTube, I think the biggest challenge has been, I guess I want to say staying consistent, only because I know we've had seasons since we started where we kind of like fell off just a little bit, but it wasn't for too long. So I think for the most part, we've been staying pretty consistent. But that has been a thing for us. That is hard. It's just hard to stay consistent with anything. Like just stick to something. Yeah, especially, different things come up and you can't always, Kristen is a mother and a wife, so it's just me and Charlie.
Blame me.
No, it's not to blame
it's
me.
Like that's all I have going on.
No,
so this is my other thing.
I said that to say, like, you can't just like, I can't just be like, Kristen, come over here and let's do this right now. Like, we have to plan it out, and our schedule,
scheduling stuff.
Schedules can be conflicting and stuff like that, but I think we do a pretty good job. But yeah, I think that's been the biggest challenge maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree. Like staying consistent, making sure we schedule stuff, and thinking of ideas. Sometimes it's challenging to think of ideas that outside of the box, because we want to review books, but we also want to bring some different elements to the book conversation. And I think it's also been challenging us trying to introduce other things as well, because we weren't sure how to do it because we primarily talk about books. So we'll try to do more of those things in the coming year, as far as talk about maybe some of our favorite shows, maybe some other like forms of media, or just even like other little things that we like, and just try to incorporate it and make it interesting. I think it's just been challenging figuring out what our voice is.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I don't know.
I think we've kind of caught a groove though. I think.
Yeah. All right, what would you say our biggest success thus far has been? I said I couldn't find questions. I made up those though.
Our biggest success thus far? I don't know. I feel like we got to 500. No, I mean, I know it's been a year, and I know to me that's a lot of subscribers. I know like people have like a lot, but for us to just be little old us or little old me, I speak for myself, and just be talking about books and like almost 600 people like that. Y'all like that? Y'all like books? But yeah, so I think that's been like, I don't know, having our little subscriber count.
Yes.
And the engagement too. People comment a lot. You guys are always commenting on the videos and stuff, and that's also nice because it lets you know like people are not just watching. You guys are actually engaging with us and having conversations, and that's dope. Like it's real people behind these views type of thing. Like it's weird, but in a good way, like in a fun way.
Yes, I would agree. I think our biggest success has been being able to create content that has touched so many people, and I think yes, to me, almost 600 people. That's good. So yeah, I would agree. Like it's been, and then it's like we have an international kind of audience a little bit. So I'm like,
so
Kristen is international. She up in this thing.
Watching us in other countries. Isn't that
right?
weird?
So cute. It's very humbling. Like I don't have an overinflated head anyway, but if I did, it'd be very humbling. So
I feel gas. I'm like, ooh, give me my YouTube plaque right now.
All right. So our most viewed video is Where the Crawdads Sing review. If you haven't watched that, watch that. But why do you think that is? Why do you think that's our most viewed?
I think that I think the book was really good, and I think we put the review up at a good time too. I think it's like when the book was like still circulating a lot, and it was getting a lot of
circulation
praise. Yeah, just commentary surrounding it. So I think that had a lot to do with it. And I don't know, I gotta go back and watch that video where we just giving like good commentary. Maybe we need to stick to that formula, whatever it was in there. But yeah, I think it was the book, like that was a good book, and a lot of people were interested to see, I guess, what we had to say about that book. So
yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, same thing. I'm probably just gonna keep saying same thing. So yeah, it's a very popular book. It's a very transcendent book. Like it doesn't just fit in one box. So a lot of people, a lot of like different groups or genre, like if you're a genre person, it touches on many different genres. So a lot of groups of those people, like if you stick to like coming of age story, it was a coming of age. If you stick to mysteries, it was a mystery. If you stick to certain aspects of it, I think draws in a larger audience, and then it's like, hey, we have a review, so people just click. So maybe that's why. Our least viewed so far, y'all need to go back and watch it. Bring it up there, is our great books to jumpstart the year. Why do you think that's probably one of our least viewed?
Maybe, when did we do that video? Earlier this year? I think maybe people weren't really respecting our opinions then or something. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we just weren't reputable sources for people to see, like,
that
why are you telling
part
us
of it.
what? But yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I think part of it too was like maybe the energy in that video, because I think we did kind of like scrape that video together. Like, because I was on the way to Asia's house and I was like, oh, we could do this, and I just brought some books.
I don't remember. I gotta watch it again.
So that's kind of like a lesson in itself, like just the energy behind our videos aids in like it resonating with other people. Like, I don't know, we were necessarily feeling it and feeling what we were saying.
So maybe you feel like that came through in the video.
Maybe, cool. But I need to go back and watch it along with y'all. So we're all gonna watch it together and see. But yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's get more so into things you've learned along the way. So what is 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, however many lessons you've learned? We can kind of alternate.
I don't know how many lessons, but just doing YouTube, I feel like I've learned discipline, like as far as, because it's not, I'm very much the type of person, when something starts to become a job for me, like, or if I feel like, oh, I have to do this, I don't want to do it no more, no matter how much I enjoyed it before, like, but if it starts being like, oh, I gotta do this, like, I don't want to do it. And Plot Twist never was that for me, but it was more so of like, oh, I have all these other things to do, but I have to do this too. So it's like I had to discipline myself, like treat it like a thing, like a job, so to speak. Like, okay, like I have to do this, and this. Like, and Kristen keeps me on track with that type of stuff too sometimes. And you know, I be having to keep her on track too, or whatever. But yeah, I think So I've learned. I don't know. I guess I've learned how to be like a little bit more organized, like prioritizing my time with YouTube. That's a good lesson.
One lesson I've learned is everything doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm like, oh, there's an awkward pause. Oh, there's this. Oh, I spelt this wrong. Or, oh, this was done. You know, when it comes to editing the videos and things like that.
Editing, y'all. I don't do that.
I mean, he is. But yeah, I think, you know, I just put a lot of labor into it, not as much as maybe some other YouTubers, I mean, honestly, but, you know, I do what I can with the time I have, and the goal, of course, is to kind of like up the ante, evolve with our visuals, with everything, but, yeah, for what it is, I realize everything doesn't have to be perfect. Again, it goes back to that energy. If our energy is there, I feel like that's the bottom line. Like, you can work on graphics, you can work on like, oh, we don't have the HD camera, we don't have all that, but that's something that can come. I think as long as you have the content, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as you have like the energy behind that. So yeah, I've learned that. Is there something else you learned? What's another thing you learned?
I think that's it. Organizing my time, being a little disciplined, treating things like a
being consistent,
a job, and not putting it off like, oh, I don't want to do this because it's a job. But like I said, I never really felt that way. But which is surprising to me.
It's surprising.
Yeah, because I be lazy. I don't like doing stuff.
Yeah,
that I gotta do.
Yeah, and it helps that it's like books.
And it's stuff that we want to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
just like the filming part is the part that's kind of like a little bit more labor into it, but like the actual reading of the book, like yes, I feel like I probably escalated my pace of how I would tackle books because of the channel, but at the same time I still would be reading books, like probably would stick to like maybe a few, or I probably would just pick up what I have, but I think I'm more motivated by like seeing other people's books they want to they're reading, or maybe books they want to hear about. I might add those to my TBR list when they probably wouldn't have been on my radar normally. So, or they probably would have came like later, like, oh, that's a book that everybody read 2 years ago. I'll read it now.
Right.
So I think that has been created more awareness around just book releases, books in general. I've gained awareness surrounding them. So I think, I think I've learned more intentionality surrounding my hobbies.
That's a good lesson.
I know that it makes it a little bit more intentional. Like I read with a purpose. At work, I even throw it out there. I review books.
Not I review books.
Yes, that's my little like tidbit about myself. When they say, "Tell me a little bit about yourself," I'm like, I review books.
I tell people I have a BookTube, and they be like, "What's that?" I be like YouTube, but it's you just talk about books. BookTube.
Yeah.
So you're like, "What?" I'm like, "It's a thing." Look
at it. All right. So, what are some things we're going to try to do coming up within our next year?
I don't know. We didn't discuss this beforehand. What are we gonna do?
What do you want to do?
Okay. Well, one, we need to just as a brand, we as Plots with the Twist brand, we are wanting to. I know we had talked about getting our Instagram up to par, and just having different ideas with as far as like the content, like Kristen said earlier, introducing different things to you guys, maybe some different mediums, and yeah, some other little aesthetic things that we want to do for the brand Plots with the Twist. I think that's going to be the focus for us in our next season.
And I also want to do a better job of planning out what we have to read. I feel like if we can kind of transition in the year, and y'all put in that plug for us for to get advanced reading copies. We can kind of surround, like, plan content around stuff like that. But I think we kind of just picked what we either we kind of had a formula where we was picking a popular book plus a book that we've been wanting to read on our list, and then plus a book like we already own. So that was like our little formula. But I think like because we also wasn't like aware like, oh, people read, you know, LGBTQ themed during Pride Month, or people read, you know, Black authors during
that's something
Black history. So I think
we've learned this year, like just as far as like the whole BookTube community, like like the little things, you know, just little events and things, and as a BookTuber, I guess.
We weren't as involved with those, and I think that's something we can kind of take into next year, trying to be more involved with like events or celebrations, especially of like different demographics. And just kind of plan better around, you know, reading surrounding those different events. I think that would be great, because I don't want to be like scraping, you know, these are the books. I'd rather have, you know, meaningful content or meaningful recommendations for those types of things. So all right, anything so last thing we'll kind of touch on is any word of advice for anyone who's considering starting a BookTube?
I would say, if I had to give somebody, I would say just do it. That's what a lot of people say when they say any advice for YouTubers. But if you, just do it. And I will say read stuff that you want to read, and don't read stuff that just because you feel like it's popular or everybody's talking about it or whatever. Because that's when you start, I don't know, getting into
letting someone else control.
Yeah, and it becomes inauthentic. And not to say, like, you know, sometimes, like, people give us suggestions and it's something that we wouldn't normally read. But, you know, we're open to reading different things. But don't just only go for this stuff, you know, just because, I don't know, it's searchable. Yeah, it's the most searchable thing or whatever it is. You know, I could say that me and Kristen really just, like, you know, we'll pick up books that we know are circulating or popular and being talked about. But for the most part, we really just read what we, like, want to read and talk about when we want to talk about.
Yeah, because there's still books we would have got to eventually.
Yeah.
Probably the timeline of reading them would have been different. But yeah, we still would have read them. So, and it's still very much still within our wheelhouse of what we like. So, I guess advice I would have for someone who's considering BookTube would be the same. Like, just do it. Just it's nothing to it but to do it. It's easier said than done, because I do understand, like, it was a lot to kind of get over. A lot of, like, we thought, or at least I thought, it would be weird kind of talking to a camera. I said that on our, like, BookTube newbie thing. I thought it'd be weird, like, looking at myself. And it does take some time to get used to, but, like, once you just put it out in the universe, it's not like you can really take it back. I mean, you can, but somebody's gonna see it. So I think if you just put it out with good intentions, like, yes, you'll receive, you know, if you believe in, like, you know, karma and sending out good energy and receiving good energy, like, you will receive that back. You might have some haters here and there, which we encounter, but we don't engage in that.
Mostly people that are very nice and very
we have great subscribers. Oh my God, we appreciate you guys so much.
You guys are always leaving comments and talk to us.
Other than that, I would agree, like, the consistency piece, the engagement piece has really been beneficial for us, because, you know, you never know what video might resonate with someone, and it's word of mouth. But other than that, just really getting it. I think I would say just get involved with the community if you can. That's something we need to do better about, but the engagement that we've had has been great. Like, people have spread the word about us and post us and repost us, and I think that's amazing. Right, that's the reason we got you know, a bump in followers and subscribers. So just engage with others. I think that's a good piece to take away if you're considering. But yeah, you nasty. But that's pretty much it. Anything else you have to share?
No, I just want to say thank you to everybody that watches us. That's you know, tells anybody about us, that shares any of our posts on Instagram or anything on here. You guys are amazing. It's just really nice to have, like, people that actually, like, care about what we be talking about. So that's fun.
Yes, you guys are amazing. We thank you and appreciate you so much. You know, to 600 more and 600 more after that, and 600 more. We're looking to continue growing as long as we're doing this thing. Hopefully we can keep it up and be consistent, deliver you the content that you like. But as always, comment down below. Let us know some other booktubers, some lessons you learned, some advice you may have for us in continuing, or books you want to hear about. Like this video, subscribe, ring the bell, and join us next time. Bye.